Morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We're on a 365-day inner journey together, so happy and grateful to have you along. We're on day 105 of that journey, 105. And today's message is self-reliance. Self-reliance. Well, we know which self we're going to rely on already, don't we? Not the lower self. Can't rely on that lower self to get us to where we want to go. We're relying on our higher self, our higher tools. We talk about them every day, and that's what we're going to live by from here forward. That's our journey. That's the road less traveled, the one that with the most to gain for yourself and your life on that road less traveled. It's a beautiful road. You recognize the beauty on this road. You take the time to recognize the beauty on this road. So, and self-reliance is part of that, because self-reliance helps us to gain all of the earthly wisdom we can gather while we're here to grow our soul, which is really the main purpose that we're here in this earth school for a little while, in these earth suits for a little while, right? The more self-reliant we become, and not that we don't need other people, we'll always need other people, but self-reliant means, what are we using as our approach to life? What are we using? Self-reliance, and that it's got to jibe with what we hear and what we feel in our heart, and that's how we're guided. So yeah, this is good for us. This doesn't feel so good for us. I'm not going there anymore. I already know what that does. I'm staying here, and I'm listening to that higher self, so I can become reliant on it. And that's what I say every day. You learn to listen to that, and that voice is much more subtle. The self-reliant voice, it's much more subtle. It's your intuition, because you're hearing instead of just reacting to world events and fear and what comes in there. Then you're not self-reliant. Then you're all over the place. You're willy-nilly land of your own ego. Okay. So this is the path that brings you all you desire in life. A self-reliant life does not mean you do not enlist the help of others in the quest for your goals or dreams and higher life experience. It simply means that you trust in your own ability, visions, and God-given talents to bring them all into your reality. And we learn new ones every day, right? So stay humble. Stay humble. We're always learning. You think you're here to belt out orders or tell other people how to live. No, we're a constant gardener, constant traveler, constant student. And we are also teachers. When we're talking and speaking in the higher way, and encouragement and things like that, and can do, and helping others forward, paying it forward, bringing good energy to the room, those kind of things. Those are the ones that remind each of us of our own garden of life and help us to get back into it, and which helps us all grow into truth, back into the remembrance of it. Being self-reliant is not usually something that we're taught in school, and many times even at home. Life itself is a way of arranging things that push us into become more self-reliant. The problem is that usually we fight this current because it tends to be very uncomfortable at times. You're trying to find your own way. Well, we all know what that is. That's the earthly journey. Like I say, we're all just like pioneers in these suits. So, give yourself some love. It's not easy. It's traveling, baby. We're traveling in a solid world. We're spirits traveling in a solid world. And it is one of a great experience, an adventurous one, challenging one. But when we bring our best to it, and we know what that best is, well, then the ride is on. It's better because we're manifesting beautiful things into our lives. And because that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve, not in servitude, not in overgiving, not in having no boundaries, but in service to the light, with our light. You feel much better when you're doing it. You feel much better when you're uplifting other people. It uplifts you. And that is part of self-reliance. It's part of sending out a good vibe, and that you too, you're following a trusted voice inside. And so you trust that voice. You build integrity with that. You do what you say you're going to do. You walk in that way where you have good character. You build good character based on truth and honesty, right? That's the stuff. That's the higher tools. So move closer to it every day, right? Every day. That is moving back home. and into self-reliance. You'll see the answers are there. Your answers are there. They're within. Not that God doesn't send people to help you and spout some answers whisper answers in your ear on his behalf. Happens all the time in many different ways, the mysterious ways that the universe helps us. And when you notice those, when you have the eye to notice the ways that you're being helped and you can see it and you stay in gratitude for it, you're going to see him more. You're going to see the hand of God in your life so much more. You're going, wow. And I was just stumbled bumming around in my ego. And now, I was once blind and now I see. You see with a new resonance, a truthful resonance. That's what it is. A truthful resonance in your truthful residence, your residence. This is your house. Make sure you clean out all that is not true, all that doesn't belong. And what lives there, what remains there, well, that's you. That's the good stuff. That's the real you. That's the real you. And you'll wake up brighter. You'll feel like giving more. You'll feel like giving more to yourself as far as what you need as a mind, a body, and spirit all working in conjunction to serve the light, just the way we came to do it, just the way we agreed to before we came. We agreed we have a mission in there. We all have a mission. And it is to share more of our light in many different ways. We each have a different way to do it. We each have a different way to do it in many different little ways, really, many different little ways. The ones that feel good, the ones that are naturally feel good. Okay? So being self-reliant is not usually something we're taught in school. My friends, we'll never get away from the energy that wants you to grow and become the person you intended to be before you came to this place of soulful learning. This earthly realm is a place of soulful learning. The matrix wants us to learn just enough to to serve it, but we're not serving that. We're serving the light, which breaks us out of that Truman show, breaks us out of it into so much bigger beliefs of who we really are. I mean, they had us believing we were ants, in the ant farm, that they tell us what's real. No, what's real is within your heart. What's real, and the truth is there. So we're all starting to resonate in that. And the other stuff is just, it's going to go away like the land of disbelief, man. Just let it go. Let it go. Like an old habit, right? The old world. Just start creating the new. Start creating the new in yourself. Be a little brighter every day for yourself first, and then carry that forward. You'll see. Boy, you'll see that benefits the whole. And just stay consistent with it. Like I say, you're not in there to have cheerleader pom-poms and all that. No, just a good vibe, baby. Just a good, even-keeled, content, happy, smile. Glad to see it. I'm glad you're here. To people around you, give them a headlock and a noogie. that common everyday chuckle stuff is the best energy you can go into the day with and live in. Okay. The self in self-reliant means your inner higher self and the soul that is here to grow through your everyday human experience. The human experience. Well, that's it. We're here to have a human experience. We're here to feel every feeling that comes up in this human experience. And we don't have to give in to those emotions. We learn emotional intelligence, and we learn to wield our light and shine it on the emotion and say, okay, listen, here we are. This is what I'm facing. And this emotion wants me to do what? Become angry and roar and the Tasmanian devil? Well, no, I've learned that that is going to create a whole new ball of nightmares doing that, right? That's what happens. It just is a fire, see if you can quell that old fire way before that ever starts, and learning to be still and calm that fire in yourself along the way. You're just going back home. You're just going back home to being a centered self in a world that has just wanted to pound us into being, fight or flight in every moment, fight or flight. Now, there's mindfulness. That's the difference. Mindfulness is the difference between fight and flight. Mindfulness is the centered approach, and the one that keeps us away from the illnesses of the up and down roller coaster monkey mind. It's just not good for us. And the world just keeps feeding us more things to look at and to, oh man, geez, look at this, all the shiny stuff. Well, we got to become more simple. Simple in the way we move, simple in the way we breathe, simple in the way we think, and just in more of a mindset of we're here to help. We're here to help. Okay, keep that as just that part of there. Even though your grumpy ego wants to say, here to help. Who's helping me? Yeah, oh yeah, well, take a nap and then get back up. Make sure you eat something and then get back at it. Get back at the real stuff, okay? We all need a nap from time to time. Who doesn't love a good nap? Okay. Self-reliant people understand that it is through the challenges that we climb to a higher understanding of the real flow of life and the best paths forward. Well, yeah, walking through a jungle of the human journey, right? What do we take with us? What do we take with us as our sword, our staff, and our shield? Truth. Truth, we take that with us. I'll tell you what, truth shall set you free in many ways. And the more you recognize that while you're doing it, the more in the present moments when you're saying, I would normally do this, but I'm doing this instead. I would normally just forget about this. I would normally not say anything about this. I would normally not speak on my own behalf about this. But I could speak simple truth about it, just truth from the heart, and say, that's not going to work for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to be, this or that, but that's not going to work for me. Love you guys, but no, you can't do it. Right. And then that opens it up, but it's not just big confrontational, big thing. When people realize that you're speaking from that heart, just stay there. Stay there. If other people want to get out of control and that kind of stuff, let them. You stay where you are and say, that's not part of what I'm talking about. I'm just stating some simple truth here. And I have to give this to myself because I have to love myself first. As crazy as that may sound to other people. Well, that's the basis of all freedom. Basis of all freedom. You love yourself first and love yourself enough to break out of old patterns and old ways that don't serve that new way that you're walking. Okay? It is. But boy, man, that is spiritual warrior stuff. Walking on and saying, no, this is who I really am. And I'm just living this out. And anybody else can just go live their own way. Live their own way. Live and let live. I'm doing it with love. I'm doing it with light. And it's always worked great. It's always worked great. And I've seen it work great in my own life for so many. And you be more consistent about that. You'll have a more beautiful life. That's it. Keep it simple. All right. Self-reliant people are confident in making their own decisions and then go out about making those decisions the right decisions. You got that thing inside of you, and it takes some time to make it look right. No matter what you are creating, it can look like, a mess at first. But then you say, oh, that's just a mess. But I'm going to make it a little better. I'm going to rest. Tomorrow I'm going to look at it again and go, all right, well, it's not as bad as I thought it looked when I was tired and grouchy and out of my best self. Now it looks a little better, and I'm going to change this or that about it. And next thing you know, you go 5 more steps and you go, okay, I got something here. I'm so glad I continued. I'm so glad I didn't give up on that. I really want to, I'm doing it again. I'm going to do it again. I didn't do it as great as I thought I would yesterday, but that's okay. That's just another step in the process. Be okay with those times. They're going to be there. You think you're making a mistake. It's just another doorway to go of what not to do. All right, here, another path. Many, many paths. But you'll know what to do. It'll come from you. It'll come from within. Rest in that knowing. I'm just going to start and see where it takes me. If I never listened to that voice inside of me when I was depressed as hell, and a voice said to me, just sit down and write. I didn't write anything. I never written anything but a commercial for the Old Daily on the radio. But that's what it said to do. And I started writing on a pad first, and I just picked up my phone. I wrote this whole book on my phone, because after a while, it just came to that. It was almost like automatic writing. Whatever subject came, I was saying, what would love do here? Because I'm in the shit, and I need to have an answer for myself. What would love do? And boom, these monkey thumbs just kept typing, and it wouldn't let me stop. And for 2.5 years, those monkey thumbs kept going. And I just kept saying, okay, and it didn't matter whether people liked it or not. It didn't matter. I knew there was a few that I was helping. that if there was a few that I knew that were saying this is helping me. And I go, great. Well, that's what helped me out, knowing that I was helping other people. So that's the natural rise. That's what I'm telling you. The more you move from victim mindset into the service mindset, not servitude, not slavery, service to the light, serving it up out of your thoughts, your mind, and your lips every day, and then your actions, it's just going to come to you. It's like a whole other level of self that you come into. It's a new knowing. There's a new knowing within you, in your own self. Your answers just for you. Okay? I'm just telling you to look back in the mirror again. There's more there. A lot more. A lot more. Okay? You know it. Dive in. Deeper. Deeper. It's okay. You can go into that darkness and see what it's saying. Don't be afraid there, because you are the light. You're going to go and scatter that darkness out of there, saying, I'm the light. I'm going in. I'm saying, I got to get you out of here. You're out of here. You're out of here. All this shame, all this guilt, all this remorse, all this resentment, all this hate, it's got to go. It's got to go. And you are that magician. You are that magician for your own project, which is you, your human self. Be a great one. Be a great one. You know, you already are. You already are it. Just slough off what's stopping that from shining through more and more. There you go. It's a dismantling. It's a detaching. It's a detaching of what no longer serves us, and the taking up of the light within and saying, here, what do you got to say about this? What does my light have to say about this? What does my creativity want to do with this? Boom. Shakalaka. Boom. And watch what comes. Watch what magic comes out of you. All right? Okay. Self-reliant people know that in order to get where they want to go, they will absolutely need others. So they are great creators of genuine relationships. Genuine, long-lasting, lifelong, trusted relationships. There's probably not going to be many, but the ones that you have, nurture those, water those, let them know how much you appreciate them. So that's how they stay. That's how they stay in your life. It's that wheel of love. That's it. That wheel of trust. They need something from you. Boom. How can I help? How can I help? Whatever, if I'm able to help you, I will. Even if it's just some words that I can share to bring it back get you off the ledge. Yeah, absolutely. We should all be doing that for each other. That's the wheel of light. Okay. They communicate these qualities in their actions and not just their words. Well, there's integrity. There's integrity. You watch the actions. You can hear the words, but then you see the actions. Do they line up? If they line up, integrity. If they don't line up, the person has yet to know their true self. They have yet to know their true potential. Pray for that person, that they find it. Help them if you can. But if they're hell-bent on living that way, to each his own. To each his own. I wish you light. My brother and my sister, I wish you light. Okay? So today, 105 is continued tomorrow, but self-reliance, where are we at? Okay, so let's just continue it on, and then we'll go into 106 will be your unguided intentions tomorrow. I'll say self-reliance continued. Taking up self-reliance is a life path that's truly rewarding as you begin to spread it to others by just living it. Self-reliant people are compassionate and caring because they know what it's like to struggle and fight against what is. All that resistance inside, fighting against what is instead of believing you have what it takes to get it done. Just get that shit done. Get it off your plate, out of your way. Become more efficient in life. Get off the procrastination train. Be your own best friend. Okay? Because they know what it's like to struggle and fight against what is. They will be the first to help push you through the lies of your ego that uses to keep you stuck. Self-reliant people want others to rise with them because they love surrounding themselves with people who get it, who want to go in that same direction, who say, yeah, okay, I want that brighter way. Teach me, show me. There's somebody I love to learn from other people, from any walk of life, from anything they're good at. If it's something that goes, woo, I'd like to try that. And they'll be willing to show you that. Send me that love. Send me that knowledge. Send me that gift from you. See if I can do some of that. Right. But that's the spice of life. Spice of life. Seeing new things that interest you and saying, what at my level, it's a beginner level. So what if you screw up? You're just the beginner. You'll find, though, if you really love it, that you'll go from beginner to intermediate to advanced to pro if you want to. That's the journey. And along that way, you find yourself. You find your character. You'll find what works. You'll find what doesn't work. No matter what journey you decide to take, it's the light that you need to take with you. Shine it on how you're acting now, how you're going to do this, what's next for you, always in the present moment of saying, how can I bring my quality and my focus to this moment and give it my quality? Woo! Yeah, when you get into that space, you're going to create some really beautiful things, some really beautiful stuff for yourself in your life. My friends, don't wait until there are storms in your life to get to know your true unbounded self. Once you realize that your true self is fearless, eternal, unlimited, you'll want to dive right into your power. Take the reins of your own life, take your power back, and move forward, undaunted by the smoke screens of your ego. Undaunted. That's a great word. Be undaunted, even if it's there, even if you feel the fear and do it anyway. And do it anyway. And shut that son of a bitch up. Shut up, Mr. Ego Fear. I'm doing it anyway. Always remember that it is your small victories that you can and must become aware. Celebrate every time you overcome a seeming obstacle, a fearful thought, or a once limiting belief. You know, you can hear that limiting belief. You can hear that little self-doubter in there. That's anytime you're moving to a new level of self, that self-doubter is going to be yapping as loud as a truck driver. So let it yelp. Move on. Keep going. The self-doubt will soon turn into, well. Next thing you know, you're on your way. Okay? Chuckle at it. Chuckle at self-doubt. That's what you learn to do. I think that's helped me most, is that when that voice of self-doubt comes into me, I go, ha, 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 like a pirate. Like a pirate. And it just disarms it. It's like, ridiculous. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to nail it. So I tell myself that. I don't know whether it's going to happen, but, I've had a pretty good record of it in small ways. So I like to do it anyway. So always remember that it is your small victories that you become aware. Celebrate every time you overcome a seeming obstacle, fearful thought, or once limiting belief. Those small victories will lead to bigger ones, and soon you'll be in the flow. That flow of I can. That flow of, man, I didn't move like this before. I didn't used to believe in myself as much before. I didn't. And I just kept taking these small steps that it just said I can. And I didn't listen to the voice of doubt. I said, all right. I've had many of those anxious panic attacks thinking I couldn't. And then you move on and you decide that you can. But that could be your 3-alarm self just going into a new chapter. And that can happen. So don't worry about that. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it stop you. Do not let that 3-alarm ego go, no, you can't do it. Do it. If it is in your heart and it says, I would love to do that, move closer to it. One step closer. And then again, and then again. And then it's just going to go, okay, I thought this was going to be a much bigger deal than it was. That's how you grow in life, my friends. That's how you grow in life. Keep pushing through. Okay, today, have a more self-reliant day as the CTA. Any of those things you used to not handle well yourself, handle them. Handle them. Just go, screw it, I'm handling this. I wanted to slough this off. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to talk to that person. Whatever. I'm handling it. And show it to yourself. Show it to yourself. Boom. One little phone call. One little thing that says I can, and you did it. And you did it. Be proud of yourself for that. Okay? Yeah. Boom. And be grateful to the power that you already are within. Be grateful to that power that you have it. You are it in all of eternity. Use it. Wield it. Wield it. All right, my friends, have a great day. Much love to you and yours. Blessings to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.